All right, we got about 3 minutes to the open. Looks like we're probably going to get a pretty hard move down. Even though earnings were great, you're going to see some pretty good selling here. It's interesting, you look over at the cryptos, they seem to be heading up a little bit here. I don't have any idea which way everything's going. I mean, you'd be crazy to even think about guessing a direction. We all tend to be a little bit negative minded, so it's better just to have a strategy and a plan so that you don't make the mistakes of what 90%, no, let's make it 95% of the people in the market do. They're very reactionary. If something's not going their way, they'll sell and they'll take that loss, right? Try to preserve that capital. And you know, that's fine and dandy. They want to protect that capital, but what are they doing every time they do that? They're actually losing money. And you know, people don't understand how Buffett got to where he was or where he is today, because he didn't take these losses. And if he did, they were they were so small starting out that you realize that the only way to actually capitalize in the market is to not take losses. Once you take a loss, it's so hard to get it back. And you know, people just, it's amazing when people like, oh, $100, you know, no big deal, you know, or $500. But then the problem is they don't see how many occurrences that can turn into. I mean, it can work against you as well. You know, we believe in positive occurrences. So if you sell something for a gain, I don't care how small it is, 50 cents, doesn't matter, it's still positive, right? But if you start doing negatives and they're bigger than what your wins are, how are you ever going to get ahead? I mean, statistically, the people, you know, you can sit there and look at all the numbers that you want, and you can listen to all the gurus out there. They always have this mantra, you know, buy low, sell high. We get that. But then what they tell you is, in that same breath, that you must protect your capital. So what they're doing is telling you to sell lower than what you bought. You can't do that. So how do you get around that? Well, you have to manage the size of your portfolio based on how much money you actually have in your account. You can't just pull some number out of the sky because somebody says, hey, it's just $100. They get millions of people doing that, and it's hundreds of millions of dollars that they pull in. It's pretty easy, actually, just to control people that don't care. But how you build a small account, and that's what we're showing here. And the largest size account that we are showing right here has a net liquid of 68,400. Yeah. And see, we have another one here for 34, and what's this other one? This other one's 27. Yeah, it's constantly fluctuating, right? Because price is fluctuating. So we're open now. I assume we probably won't see any sells this morning. We did pick up, you know, our dividends overnight. It was 38.66. So, you know, looking around, you know, you just pay attention to what's going on. Not everything's going to go down when the market goes down. I mean, it's just things go in cycles. You know, if you have a market crash, you got a market crash. You got to know how to handle it, you know, or not a crash, but you know, correction, whatever they want to call it. You know, we just have price or rotations into stocks. I mean, the big, you have to remember, the big players are your institutions and your hedge funds. They're the ones that actually move these prices. When you get into these lower price stocks, there's still institutions in there, no doubt. You know, but we're really concentrating on bringing those dividends in on a consistent basis. So the more, the better, of course. But it also comes down to how fast you can get them in, because that money can be put back to work quicker, right? So this being the last day of the month, we're not going to get any more than what we just seen here. But we ended up with what, 670 for this month, and we ended up with pretty consistent 687 last month. It just depends on when they close. But see, our trading profit right now is sitting at 904.59. If we don't sell anything today, then, you know, this is our gain on the month, 15.75. That's about 1% over 3 accounts, right? So if you take that into account, add all that up, just over $120,000, you're looking at 1%. Multiply that. I think we did it yesterday. I think it came up to I think 15% overall, because you multiply it by twice, like one point. Let's see what it came to. We have 1575 divided by 120. Right, multiply that by 100 to get your percentage, and then multiply that by 12. So yeah, 15.75%. And that's in a pretty, like, what do you call it, melting up market. So we're not getting a lot of volatility in the dividend payers, and that's to be expected, right? So you could probably pick up a little bit more if you're a little bit more aggressive, but I always tell people with their small accounts, start small. 15.75% is no laughing matter. I mean, 20%, you double your money in 3 years. So like if you're patient enough and you can bring in this kind of money that we've been doing for years, right? If there's a correction in the market, what you end up seeing is
Order filled.
Okay, so we sold LDP. Didn't expect to see that sell, but finish off my thought here. So if you have 1575 percentage gain, it's not going to take you that long to double your money, your whole account size. So if you actually have cash sitting in the back, when it comes back down, it's the multiplication factor, it's exponential. It's not just this number, because now you're buying it at a lower rate on these pullbacks. So it's important to remember these things, but people, are impatient. They want their money now. They want, I do too, but I'm willing to take a little at a time. So these 1392, right? Didn't expect those this morning, or this particular one. Let's see if we actually cashed that on anything else. Sometimes you just don't see it or hear it. It's from yesterday. Yeah, so we're fine with that. It looks like we're still getting some motion up in some of the other stocks. It's not all, bad when you see the markets going down. And the main ones, your NASDAQ, that's pretty much Tesla and Apple. If they're going down, guess what? The NASDAQ's going down, because it makes up a huge percentage of that. So people get freaked out and they make stupid decisions. Probably because they listen to people that really don't know shit, or they're manipulators. They call them experts, but a lot of the time they're just manipulators or fast talkers. They give bad advice. And if you talk long enough, you'll hit some winners. But like I was saying, if you're losing money, you need to think twice about who you've been listening to. Oh, I forgot to put in our. The whole idea is really not to listen to anybody. Make your own decisions. Right? Find a plan that works. And this is what we're trying to promote here. Is think for yourself and make your decisions based on a set of facts.
Order filled.
Okay. I'm still getting some selling here. This is kind of interesting. That's why. Wasn't there. That's why. $1.98. Getting a little light in the portfolio. Selling off quite a bit this week. But that's just the plan. We're not looking for home runs here. What we're looking for is to hit that dividend amount early. Well, there's LDP again in this account. It's probably it's got a little ways to go. That's fine. Just you're buying them at different times, so you're definitely going to be getting out at different times. That's the beauty of this system. Especially if you have several different accounts. If you start lumping all your money into one product, you're really asking for trouble. So OMF. That's just kind of a floater, it looks like. Yeah, not too much action. I'd like to see some of these older ones finally, snap out of their, this is what we call a slow drift. Which means there's just a lot of money coming in now, right? Because what a lot of people are focusing on is that percentage, right? People are getting smart. And man, I need return on my money, because I've been in Apple my entire life, and yeah, it went up, but now it's stalled out, and now I'm stuck. I'm making 0.06%, which is just 0.1% over what a bank would give you on your money. And there's no movement in the stock anymore. If anything, I think it's actually coming down now. It's had its run, right? But yeah, Yeah, if you bought it down here at 100, right? If you bought 100, that's $10,000. You sold it up here, you made $4,000. But nobody knew where it was going, right? So if you can pick these highs and these lows, then you don't need to even listen to me. But nobody can do it, at least consistently. You'll get lucky on one or two, and then you think you're a genius. But where you're going to make your money is when you get stuck with that, because you say, hey, I think this is going to go higher, and the bottom drops out. Now you're stuck with all your money in that one product because you believe so much in Apple or Microsoft or Amazon or whatever. None of them pay enough dividends to pay for the fall. So what do you end up doing? You sit on it. Who knows when it's going to come back? Your money is sitting idle at this point, or virtually making nothing. You could have it in the bank, for that matter. Meanwhile, we're making on average 9.14%. A dividend strategy will always beat every other strategy that's out there. If you want to play a risk game and you want to gamble, it's called leverage. Leverage your money. Okay, so I sold EMN. Thought that one was looking like it was going to get close. So 554. So we'll take a couple looks. Need to post a couple of these on Twitter. Being a Friday, it's nice to see that we're actually selling a few more of these out, but we have the scan coming up on the weekend. Gives us a whole new tranche to look at. What did we get on that? 2.1. And LDP must be on this other one. Oh, maybe this other one. Well, let's see where it sold at, because I can't remember. There it is. No, it only sold 8. Let's see if that's right. Oh, okay, it's just on the other account. Yeah, it's LDP. Yeah, a pretty slow morning, but we'll take it. It just helps our average. 1892, 88, and 554, 21, 44. Yeah. Oh, we need to look up LTC. I think that was on the scan. We heard that alert. And nope, it was probably on last week's or the week before. We'll take a look at it and see. Yeah, no, it's been a while, I guess. But yeah, we're cool with that. See, we're always protected on our scans for some reason, huh? Like we always get in at the right time. And sure, we're gonna get caught with a few, right? I can see this one's coming down. We got 3 shares, right? But we already know. Not this account. Let's be on this other one. Okay, so we already have it, right? We bought it back here somewhere. Okay, probably 2 months ago, 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago. So we will have an alert in right here at 3804. Doesn't matter where the alert is, but our next buy is down here at 3731. It's pretty simple math. That's all you have to. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do this. We don't care which way the market goes. You know, but we're definitely our portfolios are pretty light right now. You look down here. What's that? Almost 8, 11. So there's about 20,000. And what do we got left in this? Yeah, so I almost got 40 grand left to put into the market. So we're welcoming a good hard down move, you know, but we will pick up. The scan will come out. We'll buy some more. But when you get into situations like this where it's hard to buy, it's usually because the market continues to climb. It's very hard to get into new positions. Now there'll be some, but we're just letting the market come to us. We don't force anything. We don't force trades. That's the worst thing you can do, is say, I know it's going higher. It's like, if you know where this is going, you know, you don't need any help in the market. You just pick something and throw all your money into it, and you'll be a genius. And you can tell all your friends about it. But it's usually not the way it works. So it looks like a lot of people are starting to realize that it's time to get into some dividend paying stocks, because it's going to be everything's going to slow down once they've, you know, they're going to keep pumping money, but and I doubt that it's really going to affect much on the market front. As inflation starts to take over, it's going to eat away at profits because people are going to be spending less. You know, it's not going to happen like immediately or overnight, but you're going to see it slowly start to take over. What was that on lumber? Lumber was something stupid, like almost a $3,000 increase to build a deck. I mean, something crazy. Yeah, KALU's taken off there. This is one we've traded many times in the past. So I have no idea where it's going. Maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. Let's look over here at the... Yeah, there's KALU on there. But you can see a lot of changing going on here. The CLM, that's when we're looking to get a better price on for sure with the rights offering. And then we'll see what they come up with. They're probably not going to give you much better a deal because it's already going to be down. But yeah, TRTN, there's one we'll probably dollar cost average. Isn't it interesting how those lines line up right at the bottom of that? Just a coincidence, though. You know, I don't look into it for anything more than a coincidence. I don't base my decisions off of that. Yeah, EMN, that's one we sold. Need about a half right now, half up, half down. VLO, that's oil. Valero, these are going to become pretty expensive, I think, and that's fine. Doesn't look like it's going to be all that tradable in the future, but we'll see. OMF, this one was actually something like $15.80. Just look at the size of that dividend payment, $3.95, and then they adjusted it back down. KALU is just like going crazy this week. It's like almost a $10 move this week. Of course, we only have one share of it, so we'll make our $5, $5, $3, $4, somewhere around there. Don't matter. Just another occurrence multiplied by thousands. That's what you're trying to do. Punch this in here. So far we got 21.44. Give us an idea where we're at. Oh, I almost broke the 16. Isn't that interesting, huh? So 9.49, and of course it's a little lower here because there's more days. You know, if we cut those off, you probably have about the same amount of days. But we're at 670 versus 687, so $17 off of that. I'd say that's pretty consistent. We actually profited, well, we haven't profited as much, so we've got $20 off on profit taking. But the day is still young, so we can, maybe we see a little bit of an increase. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll see. It's always fun never to take a loss. A lot of people don't understand the system, and you know, of course, they want to quit work. They want the system, you know, they heard of. It's going to give them, you know, X amount of dollars. I mean, look, at this rate now, in this type of market, yielding 76 a day. If you're debt free, that's 25 grand a year. Okay, or 12% on your money. So 12%, well, 15% on 100,000 is $15,000. So we get about 120 in here. You can figure it out from there. This is how easy it can be if you're patient. But if you're not patient, yeah, you're gambling. You know, you want to try to make that big hit. Try and say, yeah, I made, you know, $1,000 today. It's like, well, that's fucking awesome, man. How many times a month can you do it? So, well, I can do it 3 times. I said, well, how much money did you make and how much did you lose trying all this? They don't like to talk about that end of it. They only tell you about their wins. Right? We'd talk about our losses if we had any, but I know that sounds conceited, but it's true. I don't know how else to put it. It's like, I'm not bragging about it. It's like, you know, we're not making, I mean, we're making a killing as far as dividends go. People think 15%, they laugh at, well, I can make 100%. I was like, you need to look at what you're actually talking about. Okay, there's KALU. Okay, so KALU rate on helping us out. That's over on this one. What do we make? 294. Don't worry about updating that till we get all of this. So let's see, KALU. Picture of that. Send it over. I mean, this is how hard it is to do this. Nothing fancy. Keep showing this every day. Nobody wants to know about it. That's fine. I don't care. We take all that stuff off. Let's go back and clean up all our others, because we had SYY and EMM or EMN. Get those off of there, so when we look at it again, we have fresh eyes on it. Of course, the red triangle stays there for, I think, 7 days or something, so we don't. You can take it off if you want, but I just leave it there as a reminder. You know, this one will probably be. Where's it at? LDP. Back on one of these. KALU's going crazy this morning. We've got 2 minutes left. Let's just take a look over at. Let's see if anything's changed here of significance. I don't see any big numbers. That's where it's at already. One IMDb. But it wanted to test it, but it just never got down there. Sit on. This is where the patience comes in. You're like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. Just gotta let it do its thing. I don't mind doing wrong. That's the beauty of this. I can be wrong and not lose. Interesting. Get a minute. Yeah, everything's piling upwards on the cryptos. I only trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash, but we'll see what happens. That's it for today. Well, for this morning, and we'll be back this afternoon to close it out. Have a good rest of the day.